A Case of Conscience by James Blish, with a really nice Chris Foss, I believe, wraparound cover. I'm actually nearly finished reading this one already. It follows 4 scientists on an alien planet trying to determine whether it's a suitable location for a human way station. I'll talk more about this one in an upcoming video. I should actually say every book on this list today is featured on Science Fiction, the 100 Best Novels by David Pringle, which is a list of books I'm making my way through for a challenge on the channel at the moment. Next up, we've got Miracle Visitors by Ian Watson, with a really nice cover art on this one as well. On first glance, I did think that it was another Chris Foss cover, but it is actually from, let me see here, Tony Roberts. This one is about a man who sees a UFO on the Yorkshire moors in England, so I think this is probably going to have some pastoral vibes to it. Next up, we've got Algis Budris, I think that's how you say it, Algis, and Michaelmas, with some cover art there and a guy that looks to me a lot like Paul Newman. I don't know if anyone else sees that. This is about a guy who has some kind of computer implanted into his brain called Domino. And then we've got Bob Shaw, Orbitsville, which is a Ace science fiction special, and this one, interestingly, is actually signed by Mr. Shaw. It says, "To Dave, with best wishes, Bob Shaw." My name's not Dave, but I thought that was pretty cool. We've then got John Christopher, The Death of Grass, with a kind of destroyed London on the cover. This one is about a virus that destroys all of the world's grass, rice, wheat and barley, which leads to a worldwide famine. And this is kind of a post-apocalyptic novel. We've then got The Inheritors by William Golding, which is about the last remaining tribe of Neanderthals, I think. So I'm not entirely sure how this is science fiction, because to me it sounds more like historical fiction. William Golding is the author of Lord of the Flies, which I read back in school, as a lot of people do here in the UK. I'm not going to show you the back of this one because there is an enormous plot spoiler from a quote in the Sunday Times. It just spoils a main character death, and I'm not really sure why it does that. I wish I didn't read it, and I'm not going to show it to you in case you've not read The Inheritors by William Golding. Another Algis Budris with Rogue Moon. This one is about humanity discovering some kind of installation on the dark side of the moon which kills anyone that enters it. This one's in really nice condition, actually. And yeah, I've not read any Algis Budris in the past, and I've got 2 of his books there to get started with. Philip Jose Farmer, The Unreasoning Mask, with a really cool cover on this one. This seems to be about some kind of entity that is destroying planets. Not sure about much more than that. I've read a little bit of Philip Jose Farmer in the past. Philip K. Dick, The 3 Stigmata of Palmer Eldritch. I really like this cover as well, actually. There's quite a few good finds in this little haul. I've not read nearly enough Philip K. Dick, so I'm excited to get to this one. I've not loved what I've read from him so far, but I've not really been reading his kind of major works, of which this is one. I always see good things about this. It's about a substance called Choosy, which kind of transports the user to some kind of illusory world where time doesn't seem to have the same impact as it does in the real world. We've then got Brian Aldiss, Greybeard. If you've watched any of my recent videos, you'll know that I've been very fond of what I've read from Brian Aldiss so far in Hot House and most recently Non-Stop, which has become one of my favourite books of the year. This is probably one of his most well-known works and is probably in the top 3 along with those other 2 that I mentioned. And it's about a world where human nuclear activity has kind of left all of the men sterile. They're unable to reproduce, and so you get this civilization of an aging population. And yeah, it sounds really good. I've heard really good things about it, and I'm excited to read a little bit more Brian Aldiss. And then lastly here, we've got Edgar Pangborn, A Mirror for Observers. And this one has a really interesting cover on it, which has this guy in these flames wrestling with what looks to be a snake and a boar. It is about these Martians who have kind of been exiled from their own planet, I believe, and they are observing humanity, but they are unable to intervene. But it seems like there's some sort of breakaway faction of these Martians who do start to potentially intervene with humanity. So Edgar Pangborn, A Mirror for Observers. And that is everything that I picked up recently. Like I say, I am nearly in possession of all of the 100 best science fiction novels on that list. There are a few more that I do need to acquire, but they are exceedingly rare and expensive, so I might pick those up in the new year. But for now, that is the last book haul of 2024. Thank you very much for watching, liking and subscribing, and there will be some reviews of some of these books coming up in the next couple of weeks, so be sure to stick around for those. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one.